What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Straight Edge Wrestling Podcast. This week in wrestling, it is May the 3rd. We finally made it through what seemed to be the longest month in human history, the month of April.
Really?
And it just, I don't know, every day seems about 18 at this point.
I'm doing my thing.
But we are still with empty arena wrestling. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that way for too much longer, though, because Florida is opening up for business in the next couple of weeks.
Even though Vince stated it'll probably still be more empty.
Yeah, but Florida is going to be opening up for business in the next couple of weeks for some small sort of venue. So in theory, the Performance Center could get some fans in. Not many, but they could get some fans in.
So is that where everyone dies?
Yeah, I mean, the state of Florida is pretty much doomed anyway after how they've been dealing with this. So yeah, pretty much. But
have they been licking each other's face?
No, they've just not been staying indoors or listening to anyone ever. You know, the beaches have been full, and then you've got Vince McMahon running shows. But it looks like Florida is going to be the hub for combat sports. UFC is going to be running there. AEW is obviously running there, and WWE is running there because they're going to be the only state that's going to allow people to gather.
So everyone's going to die.
Pretty much.
There'll be no major wrestling shows apart from Japan, Mexico.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's good for the international scene.
A lot of famous wrestlers die.
I mean,
UFC fighters die. Everyone dies.
I'll say this took a really dark turn in only 1 minute 45 seconds into the podcast. I'll say this: they are testing quite a lot. WWE, UFC is doing it much more. I don't know about AEW because they've not really spoken about it, but WWE is testing a lot more.
We'll make a phone call and find out.
AEW is going live again. Even though they had stuff in the can, AEW is going live, whilst WWE is going back to being taped. So there we go.
Remember where AEW learned trying to do what WWE do.
Yeah, they came out and say, you know, oh, we're going live again, and then literally the next day WWE's like, we're going taped, and it's like, God,
Vince is like that. Vince is like, yes, I tricked you.
Aha, finally. But yeah, let's go through the week. Let's start with AEW, shall we?
No, let's start with Raw. Let's do what we normally do and go through things probably. Let's start Raw, AEW, then SmackDown.
Okay, I was going to do WWE together and AEW.
No, we're not.
Okay. Well, Raw. We can get through Raw in about the next 8 seconds. So
no, you can get through Raw in 8 seconds.
Yeah, nothing happened.
You say nothing happened, but it was entertaining.
Was it?
It was a lot more entertaining than it has been. Come on.
Yes, I think this is a good point, which like Vince made on the conference call, was that Raw is being used as sort of the place for the young talent that people don't really know, and new and up and coming talent, which is great. But also it means that I don't know, there's no stakes and things involved in a lot of stuff.
Well, they had some good things in it. Let's be honest. Selena Vega's the MVP of this lockdown period at the moment.
For Raw.
Yeah,
for Raw.
For Raw shit. Otherwise it'd be a lot more shit.
Yeah, she's very, very good. To be fair, her, Andrade, and like her little clique, Austin Theory and all that, they've been very quite good during this. They've been holding.
Can you not remember Angel's name?
Angel Garza? No, I did.
You didn't even say it. You jumped over him.
Just her little clique has been, which hasn't really got a name yet, has it? But Zelina Vega's little clique has been sort of holding Raw together through this lockdown period. Whilst they've been missing lots of stars, they've been the one sort of constant thing.
What, the guys that all live in Florida?
The guys that all live on the yeah. Well, this is the weird thing about this. Like, so I can't remember who it is, but Sarah Logan's married to one of the members of the Viking Raiders. I can't remember which one.
His name is the ball.
Yeah. It's either Eric. Yeah. And so Eric. She's still having to stay in Florida, even though she's no longer signed to the company, she's just having to sort of just sit there and twiddle her thumbs when they could have just been using her. You know?
Well, apparently there is the rumor of she may show up on TV because they might still use her for the original storyline with the Vikings that they had planned.
Apparently they called her in 2 weeks ago. Last Monday. They called her into Raw and she just wasn't used, even though she'd already been let go. They called her in, and then they didn't use her anyway. So who knows? I think WWE are going to pick up several of them people again that they let go. So they put Apollo in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and then they took Apollo out of the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, but literally, because I didn't watch last week's Raw, I'll be honest. Mainly because I was getting bored of it. But so when I watched this and they did the MVP lounge,
Yes,
and he popped up, I was like, well, there's no chance that they're going to push him through. And then when Zelina Vega's gang came along, I was like, all right, so they're either going to do him some kind of angle of him being injured, or he'll lose it to oh crap, I keep forgetting his name.
Andrade.
That's the mother.
Yeah, so they've done this with Apollo loads of times, where they put him in a position and take him out, or they push him and pull him back. They've done it with him so many times. The Drew and Seth contract signing was what it was. I think it's just like every other WWE contract signing.
You know what? I was watching it and I quite liked it, because if you look at how I looked at it, because I loved all the swearing that Drew was doing, because I thought that was great. I was like, that really?
I feel like it's basically if AEW gets to say shit or bitch, then WWE just wants to do two more than them.
But no, it's not even. That's not. I love that part of what he was doing. But then when I was looking at Seth, I suddenly realised I think he's been playing a lot of a certain game, Far Cry 5, because he's playing the main bad guy character very well.
Oh,
I think you watch him. And you actually watch him do that kind of thing in that role. Of what he's trying to play there is, I've got to be that guy. I need, and he's like that. It's like I'm playing Far Cry 5 right now.
He's very good. I'm really enjoying Drew McIntyre. Really enjoying Drew. I feel like it's such a shame though that Drew's not been able to have like his crowning moment yet, really, because there's not been any fans, so we've not been able to see how he reacts to the fans and whatever. But I love his trash talking so much.
Oh, what? So when they come back and all start booing him, yeah?
Yeah, God, I hope not. See, that's the thing. When we go back in front of a live crowd again, everyone's going to be cheered, just regardless. The crowd's just going to love everyone for a while, so it's going to take a while to figure out who's actually over and not, because the crowd's just going to be so happy to be there again.
Tell you what, I'm also not looking forward to Money in the Bank match for one thing, because if Nia keeps freaking screaming every time she does a move, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, I've defended Nia in the past quite a bit, but I don't know. She really fucked up Kairi Sane last week, and this came a week after she was shitting on Ronda for being dangerous in the ring. Nia was shitting on someone for being dangerous in the ring, and it's like,
yeah, but hasn't Nia had the past thing of injuring some people in the past?
Yeah. She broke Becky Lynch's nose. She punched her square in the face. I mean, fair enough. That done a lot for Becky. That boosted Becky, but it wasn't on purpose.
Yep, and then it's just a little bit upsetting that we never got that one-on-one match between her and Ronda. But
yeah, see, that's the reason we didn't get that one-on-one match. But I mean, it all came out better in the end. What else from Raw?
Oh well. And then you got your tag team championship coming up soon now. Yeah. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of some pointless stuff in it as well.
A lot.
Like your Bobley Lashley match. Well, that was pointless. You knew he was going to win. Carry on. You carry on.
Yeah, no, there's lots of enhancement matches like that. Just lots of jobber matches on Raw at the moment. So AEW this week was right. I think I'll say this. I think there were some very good bits, and I think there were some very, very, very bad bits.
I think as an overall show, it was a bit boring.
Yeah. So Cody versus Darby, I enjoyed the match. I hated the finish. I mean, hated that finish. So I cannot express how much I hated that finish. And I've heard so many people. Dave Meltzer is the one who I cannot. Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez defending that finish just drives me insane. Saying they made Darby look strong. No, they didn't. They didn't protect Darby at all. What protected Darby was the count-out finish. When they'd done that before, that protected Darby. This made Darby look like an idiot because he didn't realize that his own shoulders were on the mat and that he wasn't pinning Cody. It made the referee look like a fucking idiot because Darby's shoulders weren't on the mat.
But technically, didn't WWE do something like that before, where there was in a submission move and then?
Yeah. I mean, that's been quite common, where they have them in a submission move and then they pin them out of it. Like they've done it with Brock and Taker.
Yes. But normally the other person, when they do it, ends up fucking lifting their shoulders up before they actually get the freak out.
And the thing was with this, Darby's shoulders were very clearly off the mat, and this was a tape show.
Like Ronda Rousey?
Ronda. Yeah, literally like that. Yeah, but the thing was, that was live. This was a taped show. They could have edited that, and they didn't. And it's like, oh yeah, that pissed me off because I really enjoyed the match. The finish, I think, made everyone look stupid. It also just dumbed down Darby's coffin drop, which they've been building up for a year now, nearly. I think it just made everyone look bad.
But it's Cody. He does no wrong.
Yeah, he does. There was also
you shut your mouth.
Oh, don't! That really annoyed me because I know that's a Cody call because he does all that shit. No one, as everyone said, Cody can't just have a one-on-one match. It doesn't happen. And we know he follows his dad a lot, but come on, just give us a one-on-one match about a screwy finish or anything. He just doesn't do it. Everything has to have a dusty finish. Has to have run-ins. Have to have this, that, and the other. Which is like it's fine every now and then. But
is it? When are they doing the final?
Lance Archer versus Cody is at Double or Nothing, which is in 3 weeks' time.
So why the fuck are we at the 2 semi-finals right on the same show?
Honestly, 3 weeks' time. End of May. I don't know. I don't know. Now, well, I think now they're obviously going to try and build up some sort of story between Lance Archer and Cody, which isn't really needed when it's a tournament, but whatever.
Well, they already did that. If they didn't do it anyway before leading into this tournament ever starting, they definitely did it in the main event.
Yes. So, I mean, we had MJF's promos, which it's like I don't know how he's broken a nail,
Well, this one, he nicked his neck shaving.
This one was he got injured shaving.
To be honest, when it comes to this stuff, it's more than what the fans do to him on Twitter and the stuff that he does back. This is more entertaining than him actually being on the show.
Yeah. He's just shitting on people on Twitter, which is great. The Bubbly Bunch, I really enjoyed the Bubbly Bunch.
That was
segment, actually.
That was quite. I was, I was shocked that the Vicky Guerrero was on it.
Well, Vicky was on. I want to say either Lillian Garcia or Jim Ross's podcast. Can't remember who. Not that long ago, and she said like WWE's now blackballed her when she appeared on AEW Dark about 2 months ago, whatever it was, January.
Really? She didn't say anything nasty about WWE.
No, she's always been very, very pleasant towards WWE. They gave her a job for a fucking decade just when they didn't need to. She's always praised them. But no, she appeared on AEW Dark and she was saying how they now just sort of don't return her calls and things. But
isn't that just WWE's way when they can't be asked for someone?
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, pretty much. They do it all the time. That Bubbly Bunch. I tell you what, I didn't watch AEW live, so when I was on Twitter, and I swear to God, I saw, I think it was Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out, the Hulk is on AEW, or Hulk makes his AEW debut, and I was like, are you shitting me? It was because it was Lou Ferrigno in the Bubbly Bunch segment as who played the original Incredible Hulk. I was like, wait, what? And I was like, you son of a bitch. He made himself laugh with that one, the bastard. And Jay and Silent Bob were in that little segment as well. That was great.
It was quite good how they did it. Oh, it was really good. I enjoyed that. It's because before they first started it off, I wasn't expecting it to go quite the way it did.
No.
But if you notice, once Chris Jericho never got slapped in the face, I thought.
No, he got out of it. The champion's got to go over. But,
he could have started it off though, but he did.
Talking to Chris Jericho, I think he's sort of. I mean, he didn't really this week because the show was pretty bad, but he is the saving grace of it all. His commentary is still just so good.
Well, yeah, he's one of the main reasons that I watched the thing, but I'm also grateful for watching this for actually a few reasons. Because not only did we have like the Brady Bunch thing go on, but for once, I actually liked a certain dentist doing something on the show.
Promo, that was good.
Because it's not playing her quite out to be what she has been on the show.
Yeah.
And what they're doing with her on the show wise is shite ways. They can get her to talk more like that. And what I also love was the fact that Rebel was back.
I agree.
Rebel,
I think
Rebel, maybe? No, yeah, Rebel.
I think it's good because they've been trying. They really like Britt Baker. You can tell they really like her. They've been trying since they've first started with her. They have been like modifying her character and growing it, and it's good. Like I've said for months, like it's one of those things we just got to sort of wait and see what happens.
But it will work better though if they can keep like having Rebel be run in the background doing the comedy bit of trying to be honest about it and then getting pulled up on it and then change.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that one I quite liked.
Also, Jimmy Havoc was on TV again, and actually in a hardcore match, which was like, you know, his specialism.
I found it quite shocking that they were doing a hardcore because I didn't think they were doing that on TV.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
kind
it's all
of
got to
bull
be
crap fucking stuff with a staple gun and these kind of things.
Yeah, Tony Khan did specifically say they weren't going to be doing that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm fine with it. Do you know what I actually really liked the match. I mean, there was a bit too much waiting around for my liking in certain bits, like when Kip Sabian went up the top and Trent was just laying on the chairs, just staring at him, waiting for him to jump down. I was like, come on, just do it. But there were so many good spots when I think Kip was hit with a pile driver by Chucky onto the chairs. Kip didn't kick out. Penelope pulled him out. I thought, oh, that was so good, because that's the sort of move which shouldn't be being kicked out of. So it's like they protected the move by having Penelope sort of interrupt the count.
Yeah, but Penelope actually does work really well as like the manager type thing. She always has them.
I did like that. I wrote down a line that Jericho said at one point when they were just battering the crap out of each other. I think it was when Chucky threw Jimmy Havoc into that chair, which was upside down.
Oh yeah,
and like just sort of like it smashed into a million pieces. Jericho just shouted out, "What are they even fighting for?" Because I was like, "That's a very good point." They're just obliterating each other, and there's no stakes.
A paycheck.
Yeah, that should have been the answer.
They get extra money for appearances.
Yeah, that should have been the answer. I just found that so funny. What are they even fighting for? And then Tony Schiavone saying something like, Orange Cassidy is one of the greatest managers of all time. And Jericho being like, what the hell are you talking about, Tony? And Tony's like, yeah, he's like the Grand Wizard and Freddie Blassie and all this. And he's like, shut the hell up, Tony. I love that. I thought that was great. That was my highlight, I think, of AEW, like that match. I think everything else I sort of...
No, the thing is, I quite like the main event because I like the way they tell the story for it. And Dustin Rhodes does get in the hell beaten out and bloodied up very well.
That was a very good match. Yeah, it was better than what I thought it was going to be honest. I'm still so surprised that like a freaking 50-year-old Dustin Rhodes can go as well as he can, and also
he got himself in
Lance Archer is
He's got the DDP yoga.
Lance Archer is such a big dude. And you know when he walked across the top rope, and then done that moonsault, I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, could you imagine Undertaker having done that? That's insane. That someone that big could do that.
That's going to give Undertaker ideas.
Oh no! Because that's how Undertaker legitimately dies if he tries to do that now.
I need to outdo myself one more time. I'm stealing that move.
yeah. I'm really impressed with Lance Archer. We both called it from the beginning that the final match was going to be Cody versus Lance, because they sort of told us, didn't they? They told you before the tournament even began.
Jake the Snake said it.
Yeah, but I mean, by building up the Cody Lance thing before the tournament began, kind of knew that was where the fight was going to be heading.
Well, I don't think they had much of a choice of what wrestlers they had left to pick from at the time.
No, that's true. The question is, who wins?
Don't know, because problem is with that one, it depends if Jake the Snake's there.
That's true. I hope
this is the problem because of all this thing going on at the moment. We've struggled to have extra people in certain storylines that need to be there.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It depends where it goes.
Yeah, it's a shame because Jake is so damn good with Lance, so good. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. I think people are going to moan either way. If Cody wins, people are going to moan about him putting the belt on himself, and if he doesn't win, people are going to be like, "Oh, but Lance is a nobody." So I think they're in a lose-lose situation.
You know what? I don't think people actually are going to moan if Cody gets the belt, because at the moment people love Cody and they actually want him.
Yeah, but I think you're going to have a very specific sort of person who will moan, and they're called the WWE fanboys.
You know what? At the end of that, it doesn't really matter, because with WWE or AEW or New Japan, Mexico, wherever you go, there's always a group of people that are going to fucking moan about it.
Yeah, but you know, there's going to be a vocal thing, and AEW. The thing is, AEW listens to social media way more than they should. Way more than they should. Like WWE never listens, and AEW listens more than they should. There's a nice happy medium, you know. But no, I think Cody. I don't know. It's a weird one. I think Cody would be the right choice. But if they give it to Lance, as you say, if he's got Jake, that'd be a good choice, because
it just depends where it goes. I generally mean the story in the match. At the end of the day, I couldn't care at the end of it who wins it. If I'm honest, at this point, with those two in the main event, there was the final match. I'd be happy with either one winning it.
Yeah. Well, SmackDown, the final show was SmackDown, and to me, it was the show of the week again. It was last week as well.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, it's still being better.
Yeah. It opened up with Daniel Bryan cutting a promo, which I loved the promo. And they made it clear on SmackDown, I should say this, they made it clear on SmackDown that the Money in the Bank matches, which are being held at Titan Tower, both the men's and women's are going on at the same time within Titan Tower.
Yeah, that's just going to be a mess.
Yeah, I'm really interested though. I'm genuinely really interested to see how it is.
I was more interested when they were both single matches, like their own divine.
I thought that, but then I thought, does it sort of wear off? Does the uniqueness of it wear off if you watch two on the same show?
No, because you've got technically 5 floors of mayhem to make, with overall quite a big building. And each person, if you plan it out and you got the people that are in the right place doing the right thing, it will work well. It can go quite well. In having 12 people and following 12 people in something in this kind of match is going to be chaotic, and it's going to last an hour because they're going to make sure everyone's own snippet of 12 different people doing stuff.
Which is fine, but then what's the difference of them doing it two separately? That's the thing. If they can put them together,
because between it, you get a bit of a break between the style of match.
See, I was listening to Eric Bischoff on 83 Weeks this week, where he was talking about TNA. You remember Lockdown when with the Hogan, where every match on the pay-per-view was a cage match of some kind, and like Eric Bischoff was saying how
every single match in
Lockdown.
But
he was talking about 2010 Lockdown. That was the one he was talking about with Hogan, and he was just saying like how he thought it was just the worst idea for a pay-per-view ever, because if you have loads of the same match on the same card, or even multiple of the same match, people care more about the first one than they do the second one. And I agree with that philosophy.
Now it's just going to just be chaos because of how big you've got to put everything in.
Good. No, because that makes it exciting.
It's not, because you're going to then moan about it after you watch it, because you're going to have 30,000 camera cuts, even more than you would have before.
And if I don't like it when it's on there, fine. I don't like it when it's on there, but I'm more than happy for it to go ahead in one thing. I think it gives them much more ability to be creative. And the thing is, it's like they can do whatever they want, because they probably film them separately. Well, they definitely filmed them separately anyway. They probably filmed the start of them together and then filmed them separately in 2 different matches, essentially, and they're going to splice them together. It just doesn't make any difference.
What also worries me is one version of the thing gets taken over more of the other one.
I can see that. I can see the men's probably going to dominate the women's.
That's unfair.
Yeah. I don't know how they do the bit on the roof, like when they've got 2.
I just want to know who's getting thrown off the roof, because someone's got to get thrown off of it.
Yeah, but let's see. I'm more than open. Like I'm more than open to seeing how it goes. I think it probably will be a complete clusterfuck, but hey, it makes it fun. That's what made like the Attitude Era fun. Just throw everything at it and let's see how chaotic it can get. Why not? Who cares at this point? It's the only thing on the show which is going to matter. When is Money in the Bank? It's a couple of weeks now. What other matches on that card?
Well, you had another famous squash match, which then led to him going over to Cole again.
For
and
Jeff Hardy.
Another Jeff Hardy chapter, which was really good. And I quite like the fact that there's already a rivalry brewing between Sheamus and Jeff doesn't know about it.
Yeah, Jeff's not even there to combat. I really like the Jeff Hardy video packages they've been showing. They've been really good. Normally they don't cover that sort of stuff with Jeff. His DUIs and stuff.
But the truth is, it's so out there and open with it now. So
there was one thing which they didn't mention within these Jeff videos the last couple of weeks, was that when he was arrested for like having a shit ton of steroids with him. And they ignored that part of it. They talked about the alcohol and stuff, but then they ignored the massive steroids when they read out the charges, because they done it on the video. They said what he was charged with. Well, one of the charges was possession of steroids. They ignored that bit.
Yeah, but I thought the last time he got done was just due to the drinking.
Yeah, that was the last one. The one before that, when they read it out, they read it all out in the last week's episode. I just found that funny. I noticed several people commenting, being like, "Oh, I wonder why they ignored that one." No, but so SmackDown. So it's Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, which I think,
which means Braun's going to win.
Exactly, it means it dictates who's winning the match, which is good because it means that. Because I said this when they first started the Bray thing. I was like, "Hey, if they have the Fiend in there, we know who's winning this," and so I'm glad that, because that means that they are going to hold off.
I said last time when they stated it was Bray in the match, that Braun's going to win it.
Yeah, I mean, it means they're going to hold off probably for Roman's return.
Although if you listen to some people's rumours, he's another one of those people that has secretly retired.
Yeah, my ass. They got him signed for another 6 years.
So far this year, there's been about 20 people retired.
Yeah, everyone apparently retires.
No, not everyone, but there's actually, I've seen a video to do with the retirements. You got the John Cena after WrestleMania. He got really great for this video, and they're like that. Brock's retired. Brock ain't retired. Brock just got pissed off and folded. Fuck you, then I quit.
Yeah, Brock's not retired. Brock will be back the second that the arenas come back. Brock hasn't had any issues with WWE.
There was a thing at the back where he stated he wasn't happy about how the match at WrestleMania went.
Yeah, but Brock's never
do it in the empty arena.
Yeah, but Brock's
then Vince McMahon apparently turned around and was like that. Well, he's like, I'm done, and he's like, fine, I don't need you. He cost too much money anyway.
That's a lie. I don't know where that came from, but that's
also at the moment Goldberg retired. I'm pretty sure you'll see him eventually again when he's offered the right amount of money.
If Vince needs him, Vince will bring him back. The Brock thing never happened. That's a rumor that it was only circulated by nobodies.
Then you got your John Cena that retired. I can guarantee it's not the last time you'll see him in a ring.
I shouldn't think it is. No. That would be the most bullshit retirement when he was not in front of any fans.
Let's be honest. At the end of the day, you could see him next year probably at WrestleMania because that's when the next film comes out.
Yeah, exactly. When he needs to promote something, he will be back.
And WWE won't say no because their stock rises.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wrote down on here, Sonya is brilliant and could be a star if they actually do this right from here on out.
Sonya's already put herself in there because she's fucking insane on that mic, and she's always been able to back it up in the ring. So
very, very, very good. The last few weeks, she's been killing it. And if they handle her right, she could be like the one to sort of go up against Becky and be like that thing, because she's so good.
To be honest, if you get another person like that, you want to keep them separate for a few years, though.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, build them up for them to come together somewhere down the line. If they build Sonya up right over the next couple of years, she could be a huge asset to WWE.
So, it'll be interesting because I reckon at the moment you've got these two now breaking it. It's a shame that those two never got a chance at the tag team titles and winning them.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not the first time a tag team's been issues like that. But then at the same time, these two could go freaking great like this.
I mean, they can bring them back at some point. They can. That's always a thing. They can bring them back together at some point. But no, I enjoy. I think I have this in my head that Otis is winning that Money in the Bank match. I don't know why, and I don't know. It's either going to be Otis or Jinder, because I don't know. They've just brought Jinder back, and they kind of like Jinder.
Jinder.
Yeah.
They got to find. I don't think they'll put him in as a replacement. I think it's Andrade that will take the place for Raw.
Yeah, could be. I mean, if they put Jinder in now, I could see them going back with Jinder, and I hope they don't. But
no, I don't, because they don't need to do the Indian thing at the moment. So
yeah. Well, yeah, they just signed a new TV deal. They don't need it. Yeah, Andrade's a good call, but Otis, I could see. Vince is like in love with Otis.
I could see Otis winning it, but I'm kind of hoping there's a bit more of an Aleister Black.
Yeah,
because they have been pushing him.
They have been, yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, if Andrade gets put in there in that spot,
it's still hard to say at the moment because you're still waiting on SmackDown's final one, and they've got to do a Raw replacement. So
yeah, I'm surprised we don't know who it is yet, because
for SmackDown, what's the bet? What's the bet in the match between Jeff and Sheamus?
Yeah, actually, it could be. No, I hope not. But no, I'm surprised we don't know it, because they filmed the Money in the Bank match. They're very quite good. Like when they're running on this minimal crew, they're very good at having things
you,
not
you,
leak.
you mean the NXT stars? The NXT crew is quite good at keeping secrets. That don't surprise me. Use the WWE crew; they're all being leaked.
Yeah, it's funny, and it's like there's been no leaks whatsoever. Because bearing in mind, Dave Meltzer's normal number one leak machine is Paul Heyman, so Paul Heyman can't leak to Dave right now because they would all know it was him.
Well, yeah, but let's be honest. There's other ones that leak to other people we know. You know, the one from SmackDown likes to leak his stuff out.
Yes, it's true. But there's certain people who are the prime culprits for leaking. Who when there's only like 10 people who know the result, they suddenly think, shit, we can't leak anything. Which is I think so much fun. So two little tiny bits of news this week. So they a couple more releases. Curtis Axel was released.
Oh, they actually finally let him go.
They finally let him go. It seems like there's been reports essentially that other than certain top stars, if WWE has basically made it known that if people ask for their release, they'll get it granted. Right now, so other than certain stars, they're not granting Roman or AJ or an Undertaker. They're not doing that. But the low level stars. They've also released Cain Velasquez, which is ridiculous. They had him signed. They had him signed through 2022. What a fucking waste! Honestly.
Well, they only wanted him for the Brock thing, didn't they? So
they fed Kofi to Brock. They had Brock beat Kofi's reign just so that they could do Cain versus Brock at Saudi. Obviously, they were planning on doing more Cain versus Brock. The idea was that it would be Cain versus Brock. Cain would go off, get his knee surgery done, then come back. And they were going to put him in the Rumble, have him rampage through the Rumble, and then they changed their mind last minute. Cain was at the Rumble this year, and then they changed their mind on that. Not him winning it, but him running through it in quite a dominant way.
Like Brock did.
Yeah, I'm going to assume, this is pure speculation, I would assume that they were going to have Cain eliminate Brock. That's because then obviously they changed everything around Drew the day of.
Which would have been hilarious though if they did that and Cain then just came down and eliminated him. Come down as number 2 and just eliminated him straight away.
Yeah, bang. That would have been brilliant. Yeah, and then they could have had Cain Velasquez eliminating people left, right, and centre. But they, that's just such a waste. Huge amount of money. The guy is really, really good. Like when he was wrestling for AAA in Mexico, really good. He's a genuine legend in the sports world, a genuine legend.
Yeah, but they would have just wasted him in this.
They did.
He can generally actually wrestle instead of just being an MMA crossover.
Yeah.
Fair enough, so can Brock, but enough. They're not letting him do it.
Yeah. Basically, Vince McMahon paid Cain Velasquez to come back and job to Brock so that Brock could finally get his win back on Cain after Brock lost to Cain.
Stroke his ego. Ego.
Yeah, pretty much. And on that note, that's all we got for this week in wrestling. We'll see you next week with another review of the week in wrestling and the final build to Money in the Bank. I think it's to go home to Money in the Bank next week. So we'll be back. We'll also, if they actually announce a card for Money in the Bank, be back with our predictions for the show. If they announce it before 2 hours before they go live, like they have been doing recently. Other than that, head on over and follow us on Twitter at SEW_podcast. Head over Facebook, like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will see you next time. We are out.